Welcome to another Compliance Over Coffee. And as you can see, the title this morning is check that what you've paid for is actually there, real, and covers you. Let me just have a sip of my coffee. I've still got a croaky throat. I've got a little story for you this morning. A story with a happy ending? Well, don't know yet. Time will tell, I guess. But nevertheless, it's a story. It's not made up. It's actually real. And I have a copy of an email here that is redacted from the personal details that I'm going to show you on camera in a moment. And we're going to put a copy of it in the comment box for you to have a read for yourselves. What I hear an awful lot, even on conversations incredibly recently, is, well, this that you're saying, Tina, is actually just your opinion. Well, now it isn't just my opinion. This email has come directly from HMRC's Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Fraud and Economic Crime team. So what am I talking about? I know that there are several, I don't know how many, companies that operate in this way, but from conversations very recently on the phone and now that we're back out doing face-to-face presentations, I know that there's a few. And what these companies are doing is saying, you pay us a chunk of money, either monthly or so much a year, and we will make compliance easy for you. We will do it for you. It will all be set up in however quickly the claim is, and you're completely covered. Now, you know that we run the National Association. Sorry, excuse me, my throat's going. And we have people apply to join on a weekly basis. And one such recently was a company that had paid an amount of money to another company for such compliance coverage. And they came to us to join NAPSA, completely open about where the cover came from, completely open and shared documentation and proof of their compliance as they had received it. Now, as far as the money laundering was concerned, I have always considered that if it's under somebody else's company name, you're either employed by them or basically it doesn't cover you. And this AML cover was under another sourcing company's name. So I said to them at this moment in time, don't pay for membership. I'm going to HMRC's anti-money laundering team that I have a direct connection to, and I'm going to not name names, but put scenarios to them and ask for feedback. And so that was what I did. And the feedback came back from HMRC that there are two options for another company covering you. That is, the company employs you, and by employment that means that they control you significantly. So they control what job role you're doing, they control when you do it, they time monitor you, they pay you for that, you're contracted, so on and so forth as an employee would be. Or the other option for that company is as a sub-agent. So I inquired further about the sub-agent level and what this meant. The sub-agent is, I guess, set up for when businesses have more than one branch. So you can have high street estate agents and they may have multiple branches in different towns. There will be a core branch and then sub-branches off that. And so the core branch is registered and the core branch sub-registers with HMRC all of its sub-branches and pays for them. So you can't have it where you say, oh, you're a sub-agent to me, but only your sourcing business is registered with HMRC and no sub-agency is, because the sub-agency must be registered with the person who's responsible, the operating address, and the payment has to be made for that sub-agency, which is exactly the same as the core agency. So what happened in this case? I gave the response and redacted some of the personal details off the email and forwarded it to the sourcing business that had applied for NAPSA with HMRC's response. They said that they would prefer it if the response was bespoke to them. So I asked HMRC's AML team if I could put this sourcing business in touch with them. And they said yes. And then there was direct communication from the sourcing company that had attempted to join NAPSA and HMRC's anti-money laundering team that I communicate with without me being involved. It was completely private. All I asked of the sourcing company was that when everything had been sorted, could they please let me know what the result was so that we were aware of it. Because we are aware that these companies exist, but HMRC have also told NAPSA and our team that we have to protect our backsides and that we can't be seen to be taking on board somebody who is actually operating illegally without cover because we just didn't know that that was the case, or just accepting what a third party company has said because a fee is being paid. So a couple of weeks ago, the company came back and said, we have finally sorted everything out. I will forward the email response to you that HMRC has sent. We have permission to use this email as a print and use it in our marketing as long as we have redacted personal information. Now, it's still visible from the email that this is directly from HMRC's Economics Crime Agency team. All that you can't read are the two company details or any personal names. So there is the sourcer that has paid a fee up front for having compliance done and sorted for them for a year, and this will be an annual subscription. I believe sometimes this can be a monthly subscription with other companies or in different payment formats. And for this, part of that certainly was stated that they were covered for HMRC and anti-money laundering through this company sourcing business. The sourcer who approached us and HMRC gave their company details to HMRC and the other company details to HMRC with whom they were supposed to have cover. And the response that came back from HMRC, and I'm going to read it to you, and for that I need to put my glasses on, was this. Thank you for your email. I have checked the supervision for, we'll call it Company A, which is the company that payment was made to for AML cover, under registration number, and the HMRC registration number was given, which is partially redacted. This business is approved for supervision for only the premises listed on their application, which can be viewed on the supervised business register. This is a spreadsheet that you can download. There are no further premises or agents under this registration. Confirmation that a business is registered with us is not an endorsement for you to enter into any commercial transactions with that business. Company B, the sourcing company that was applying to join NAPSA, is not supervised for AMLS, and they are a different company to Company A, who they paid the fee to. And if they come under the scope of money laundering regulations, then they will be required to register in their own right. I will show you this here. This is going to be put into first comment for you all to see. I think it might show upside down on the screen. I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. This is it. I've printed it off. Now, what HMRC are saying is, just you paying a fee to another company who says our AML will cover you isn't necessarily the case. Now, I'm not saying that that is the case for every occasion when somebody has done this. What I'm saying is I'm bringing this to your attention so that if you have paid a fee to a company that states it includes HMRC's money laundering cover, you need to dig deeper. If you want to come and chat to us about it and have us see if the AML team will communicate with you as well, that's okay. You can drop us a direct message and we can have a conversation. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you the names of the companies involved in this to protect the sourcing business that honestly and truthfully felt they paid a large fee and that was going to cover them, and actually it didn't. So they've had to go away and set up everything for themselves and then come back and work with NAPSA separately. What that means is if you're currently paying a monthly fee to a company who states that they've set up your compliance, in part or in full, but that includes HMRC, you need to dig a lot deeper. And what I would strongly suggest that you do is that you email or speak to the company that you're paying the fee to and get them to directly forward you a copy of the fact that you are registered as a sub-agent under their company, because that is what it would take if you are not employed and contracted by them and basically then paying national insurance and all sorts of other things. So those are your two options. You're either a sub-agent and you're registered as such with that core company at HMRC, and that core company has to have paid the fee for you. They can't just take it from you and then not pay it and say that you're covered with their AML cover. That does not work. So please, please share this video as far as you can. This is not just me saying this. We have proof from HMRC that this is actually the case in an evidence-based scenario that was handed over to HMRC with the core company name and with the sourcing agent that had paid the fee for cover. And a sizable chunk, over £1,000 for a year, was paid for this cover. Not just HMRC cover, but other aspects as well. But I can tell you definitively that they, and probably many others that are with the same company, are not covered for HMRC anti-money laundering supervision and are probably not aware of that.